Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Okay, Queenie, welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live.
Live! Woo! Doc, what do you think? We made it.
We made it to spring.
Ah! I am super duper excited. Thank you for the tulips.
You're welcome anytime.
How did you know I like purple?
I don't know. I was just taking a guess.
Yeah. Since my fabulous mug that you gave me, Doc and Queenie, is purple. I love
That
that
was
so
a
much.
guess, too.
Yeah, seriously, this is so great. March 20th, holy moly.
We finally made it. Now, if we could just get the temperature going.
That's okay. I just like the numbers. I'm good with that. Anything can happen, and that's okay, but we're on the right track.
Yes.
Ta-da!
So, in addition to today being the first day of spring,
Uh-huh.
it also is.
Uh-oh.
Can you guess what today is?
Oh, happy day. Let's see. Oh, I know what it is. International Day of Happiness Global. Yes.
Yes. Happy International. That's a lot to say. IDH.
That is correct. But oh my gosh, that is a very cool day for sure.
Yes, and I know Happy Neighborhood Project celebrated on Friday.
Yeah.
And they were shooting for a record of speed networking, I do believe, too.
Absolutely. All 1,069 people would have had to be there at the very same time. And that did not happen, at least not as far as I know. So they had to be, and it's one of those kind of things, the speed networking piece. When they did it in person in Belgium, everybody had to be there at the very same time. And so that did not happen, I don't think. So unless I get new updated numbers, that's the only way I would know that.
Well, we're just going to have to push. Let's push today for next year. What do you say?
That's a great idea. We can also push for October 6th because that's when we have our Global Happiness Summit. So that's also possible.
Awesome. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So what's new in your neighborhood? Has it warmed up?
Well, actually, it's 48 degrees. And so, as I said, anything on the positive of 0 makes me happy. So, but I just can't say enough. March 20th. However, I don't know if you're aware of this, but did you know something happened March 20th 3 years ago?
Yes, actually. I seem to recall a little shutdown.
Oh my gosh. And I really was thinking about that because we were focusing on the International Day of Happiness and how everybody's so happy and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then the next thing you know, I'm just like, holy moly, March 20th. And 3 years ago, seriously, is when our world really did change forever. So I thought about that. And I couldn't even imagine what that would look like for some people.
Well, I remember it distinctly because here in Kansas City, the St. Patrick's Day parade is a big deal, and they didn't have it. So, and there was a lot of, should we have it? Should we not? And they basically shut it down. So yeah, I remember that. And then, the positive out of it, 2020, I had my best garden ever because I didn't have anything else to do.
Well, and I can go positive too because I wrote my 3rd book. So yes. A lot of good things did happen. I met a lot of fantastic people globally. So you're right. A lot of things. I'm sorry about all the stuff for people. Yeah. I think we talked about punt and pivot. Doc and Queenie was actually born in that August. So that worked out as far as being able to be friends with all of our friends and make new friends and make the friends grow. And so there's just tons of things that happened that actually were a positive. But 3 years, I mean, can you believe that we're even still talking about it?
Oh, I know. It's crazy. And you're 29 and I'm 26, right? And how it goes.
Whatever you choose to pick as a number, I'm good with that as long as it's under 30.
Okay. At 29 point. Yeah.
There's a lot of points after that. You're right. Hey, Miss Karen, it's great to see you. Welcome back from your gorgeous trip. I lived vicariously through you and your family while you were on all those beaches. And I was like, water, water, water.
Yes. I was just talking with somebody today that was, I was telling him that, I want to live somewhere warm where there's a beach. And I had somebody ask me, well, what about Arizona? And I'm like, yeah, there's no water there. It's just dry and hot. So
yeah, I was going to say, unless I missed something, Arizona's not on a island, a beach, a ocean.
yeah.
I couldn't imagine. My
Yep.
geography is not perfect, but I know that for sure.
Yep. And I told him my ultimate place that I'd love to live would be the Keys, the Florida Keys. But then he goes, yeah, that would be for me, but hurricanes. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's always weather, that's for sure.
So,
Always weather. I'm so excited. Well, again, thank you for these logos, Doc. The happy, happy, happy does make me happy, happy, happy. So this is great.
awesome. Well, happy. Well, and it's also, I'm trying to remember if it's, and I didn't write it down, if it's National or International Act Happy Day, which I'm like, so is that one of those fake it until you make it kind of things? You know, I mean,
I don't know. And for me, it's one of those things people always say, smile and share it with someone. I can't imagine being not happy when you smile. I don't know. Karen, I see your disclaimer right there. It wasn't the beach, but the pool and the mountains. I'm just telling you, your pictures were so gorgeous. And for me, anything vacation is beachy as far as water and pool. But I guess that everything was a little cool globally across our country. People have been saying, what is up with this weather? So yeah, spring break looked a lot different here in the Kansas City area so far.
is a little bit chilly. Yes. Well, I think it was it yesterday or the day before I woke up and it was 18 degrees and you're like, what?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So anyway, so are we going to spin the wheel today, Queenie?
My goodness, I can't imagine. First of all, though, before we do the wheel, and I'm happy to do that, I would like to have you give us a catch up on your garden. Everyone has been living vicariously through your fabulous greenhouse. What happens when the weather is like this? Like, how does that work?
Well, from experience, I've learned a lot to wait, and you'll laugh. Yeah, Doc waiting, right? But no, I'm still. I've got my seedlings are growing. Everything is ready to start what they call hardening off, which is you put the plant outside and get it used to the weather.
Okay.
That takes about a week or so, week to 10 days, and then everybody can be planted. But yeah, I've just been waiting for the weather to just be a little bit warmer. I do not like the cold, so I have not been outside. It's killing me because, the sun is out. And
so I do have a question.
Yes.
All this little green stuff that's pushing up through my mulch, is all of that going to croak?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, the earth is warm enough. I mean, it's warming up. That's why they're popping up. The air is cold, but the earth is warm because we haven't, had two weeks a week of below, 10 degrees. So we'll be fine. They're just a little confused. They'll be a little bit delayed.
I can handle confusion because that's my state of mind most of the time. So I'm good with confusion. But like I say, I love to support the things that come back on their own that require zero care from me. Yes. So I want to make sure I do what I can to maintain that little green stuff popping up. So I want to make sure.
The coolness will just slow them down from opening.
Okay.
So that's about it. But the earth is warm enough for them to pop up.
All right. Some of them are tulips, I think, and some of them are daffodils. So I think they call them jonquils or some kind of thing. But anyway, thank goodness my mother planted all that stuff 100 years ago because that is not my strength. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that. Just like I didn't know purple was your thing either.
I know. I love that.
You learn something every day.
Seriously. All right. Let's see what's on this fabulous wheel. The wheel has traveled the globe lately, and it's been so fun to see people's reactions. All right, let's see if this works. What do you think, Doc? Are we up?
We are up and ready to roll.
All right, let's see who gets this question. We've done that one before. All right, let's do another one.
Okay.
Let's see. Your favorite number is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for shuffling. Now let's see what comes up. If it comes up again, we're just going to remove event photos.
Branding. We did that last week, didn't we?
I don't know, but let's talk. The one next to it is artificial intelligence, which is that one. So let's see if that picks up what I said and see if it's artificially intelligent enough to do that part. All right.
YouTube.
So, yeah. So we can go any direction, honestly, as far as the artificial intelligence and YouTubing. And your YouTube channel is getting closer and closer to your 100 mark, sister.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Shout out to everybody that has jumped on and subscribed. That is my goal. What have you found to be unique about YouTube? How's that for?
That's a good question. I did not realize, that I could network from YouTube. And I feel that that is my biggest happy surprise, because I think you post videos and you go find out how to fix your something and how to do your that. And I thought, okay, whatever. That is the only reason I was using YouTube. And when I was doing gigs in person, I always took a video of the room. And I always said, don't take pictures of me. This is not the important thing. I said, take pictures not only of each other, but the networking that goes on here. And I always told them that I would take a video of the room slowly back and forth and put that on my YouTube channel so they could then post it for their promotion of their organization. And that turned out to be my start, so to speak. 2013 actually is when I joined YouTube. Cracks me up to think back that far. But people, so of course, then I would say, what's your hashtag? So you guys can find it on social media. And that was my what? And this literally happened. I never realized it was networking. I didn't put it together. Only 10 years later, Doc, and I'm finally figuring it out. What do you think?
Well, I think your YouTube channel is fantastic because you've used it very creatively. Like you read your books on there, which I think is great. That's one of my goals is to read my health book on there. And then, then just,
that would be awesome.
You're connecting to other people too, with the playlists of people that are in your network, which, expands your reach. And then the groups that you participate in are on there. You've got, HNP is on there. You've got the Fun Fearless Female group, your Words of Wisdom Wednesday. I mean, it's great. There's a lot that you can do to use it. And then eventually, and I'm saying eventually, I'm speaking for myself, there's the monetizing piece of YouTube that a lot of people don't realize. Mm-hmm. And that's all based on views, correct?
Yes. Views and subscribers. Yes.
Yep. So yeah. So, and speaking of, and I haven't been to your YouTube channel in the past, how's your goal? You're looking for 1,000.
I'm aiming for 1,000. I'm almost to 560. So I'm super excited about that. I think 560, maybe 570. I actually don't know this very second. But the thing that I was actually blown away with, oh my gosh, I'm almost to 580. Pay attention, Catherine. But the good news is the views, I feel, was a surprise. And so all of a sudden I'm getting closer to the 1,000 mark, because that's when you can start monetizing. But you also have to have 4,000 views on your entire channel, recent views. And so I thought, okay, wow, I don't know how many views I have. So I figured out how to find that. And you can find it on anybody's channel, by the way. And I've got a personal friend in my actual network. She has 2 million.
Wow.
Then I was turned on to a different person who is promoting monetization. And he's got 14 billion views.
Wow.
And so I'm starting to follow big people that way, because I want to learn from them. But the bigger issue to that is, as soon as I found my numbers, I am almost to 10,000 views.
Yep.
And I'm just like, what? And so now, of course, I check everybody's about section. That's how you find it. When you go to anybody's channel, that I didn't know this was public viewing knowledge. You can hide your subscriber amount. And the only reason anybody would do that, I guess, is if I can't even guess for a reason. I hid mine originally because I thought it was just, I don't want to distract people from that. And then Misty Henkel, one of our friends in Australia, actually said, make it public. We want to support you. Let's go get her to 500, get her to 600, like that. And I thought, I didn't want to be a burden, I guess. And so annoying, let's go there. And so I thought, whatever, but the views is public. So you go to anybody's channel and scroll across their dashboard, like community, all that stuff, get to the about section, scroll all the way down in case they've got a lot of about in there, all the way down, and it'll say how many views total. And in order to monetize, it has to be 4,000 current views, like recent, and 1,000 subscribers. And that's where the monetization piece can start. But then, of course, you need to set it up. So I was like, holy moly. And I almost have 10,000. I couldn't believe it. I don't know what I was expecting, but I see all my videos get 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 views. And I was never thinking I'd be anywhere close to 10,000.
Well, and I looked up mine, and I'm not as involved with YouTube. I do post YouTubes, but I'm not as involved. I don't have as many pieces. And I was shocked at how many. I had over 3,000 already.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even paying any attention.
That is so fabulous. I mean, seriously, thank you, Lisa. You're such a great supporter of us. Yes. But it's back to that same drill. OMG, I had no idea. So it's amazing to me, Doc, what happens when you push buttons.
Oh, it can't hurt. It can't hurt.
I haven't broken anything yet.
So how do you work in the AI conversation into YouTube? Is there any clear bridge to that?
For me, I have learned from very large people, and that by that I mean SEO experts. And everybody says search engine optimization is dead and AI killed it. I appreciate your opinion, but the smart SEO techs are incorporating AI into their promos and their presentations. And by doing that, the next step is, holy moly, now people are finding them universally because they're incorporating the AI segment at artificial intelligence. For those of you my level watching with us, artificial intelligence, they're ChatGPT, ChatGPT-3, ChatGPT AI, all of that stuff that you can Google and search. When you now do a post alkaline water for Facebook, and so it comes up with the thing. Now that part takes a minute. Most of the time when you just put it at a word, it goes boom, and you've got tons of stuff for a post or information. But as soon as you say a post for LinkedIn, that it's almost like it has to think, which is pretty funny. So there's all kinds of incorporation for YouTube, because now I search YouTube AI experts, and then I do AI tech, AI SEO, and different things like that. Are you using it for your businesses and your books, or what are you doing with artificial intelligence, Doc?
I use it to create, and it's good at outlines and 5 steps or 7 steps or whatever. I use it to bounce off ideas. And I also use it to check, did I catch all of the information that I want to share on a certain topic?
Okay.
I don't necessarily have it create my own posts because I want my voice to be, part of the post. But when I'm quote unquote stuck, right now seed starting is the topic until people get outside and start planting. So it's kind of already overused at this point because they've been talking about it for a month. So so hello,
we're listening to you.
Yeah. So, hey, and I've even asked, what else is going on in March other than seed starting, and it'll give me a list, that kind of thing. So I do use it. I try not to depend on it to do my writing, because that takes my voice out. It takes out the creativity of, in the way I transfer or communicate to people.
And I agree with that, actually, because I've talked before and I have said things like, I would like to discuss with you molecular restructuring of ionized hydrolyzed water. I would like, and of course everybody's like, what? And so the answer is just drink it. And so I feel if you use some of the verbiage that the AI stuff puts out, I'm going to lose my prospects and my clients, much less my colleagues and my peers, because that's just not how we talk about the topic of water. So sometimes you have to do it in speak language instead of in techie language. And because I don't think people need all of that.
Well, and you know what I've told AI when I want something to sound a little bit, like give me that. There were a few little things on a bio I was doing, and I just wasn't happy with what I was writing out. So I said, give me, loves to garden or loves to garden in the wintertime. I don't know. I can't even come up with an example, but I basically told Chat GPT more casual, more casual. I kept going more casual. I needed more casual. And so it came up with different verbiage, which you're like, oh, okay, that works. It wasn't, that reminded me of, it wasn't so techie, but you could also go the other way, give it to me techie. And it will. My husband uses it a lot, and he was having it pretend it was a marketing specialist, and then he was putting in what he wrote, and he had the AI looking at what he wrote and basically critiquing it. So it's really cool how you can use it. You just have to figure out, think about, how can I use this in a creative way.
See, I think that's the part, at least for me, that makes so much sense. Mm-hmm. Because when you make it work for you instead of you work for it, and it's the posture thing, it's the parameters thing, all of those different pieces, I think it's an incredible tool. And of course, now people are worried in terms of plagiarizing and all that stuff. Well, I appreciate that, I guess. But the bigger issue for me is just push a button and see what you come up with. And that's the part I love. Yeah,
that whole plagiarizing topic. The AI is pulling information off of the internet that we can get anyways. Mm-hmm. And everybody, like in my field, everybody and their brother, you can't, seed starting. You can't really say that any other way. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's not really a plagiarism. I guess it would be. I don't even know if. It's funny. That kind of throws a loop because I don't see it as plagiarizing. It's giving you generalized information, pulled off of the internet from its resources all over the place. And then
let's go back 100 years. Okay. Our AI back then was encyclopedia. And if you were working on a thesis, a paper for your class, whatever the topic was, you would go to the library, get reference books, use the encyclopedia, etc. So obviously, you would not literally verbatim type in your presentation or your thesis absolutely everything that the encyclopedia said or the reference book from whomever said. You would turn it into your own words. And once you understood the topic that they were mentioning, now you could turn it into your own language. And I think the AI is the same system. And if people just equate 100 years ago encyclopedia to current AI, I think they would get over the plagiarism topic, because you probably would not copy the page out of the encyclopedia and turn that in as your thesis.
No. Yeah. And it's, like I say, I just use it for ideas. If I'm stuck, or I've even used it, what are the popular topics in March?
Yes.
Seed starting. Oh, yeah. How unusual.
They were listening to you for sure.
Yeah. I don't think it's a plagiarism piece, but I get where, if somebody thinks that way, I kind of get where they're coming from. But and Lisa says here, a lot of plagiarism is coming from those who let it write a book for them or a speech and aren't really doing much editing. Exactly. They're not putting any effort into it. And of course,
I wouldn't even want that.
Right.
Right. Blah, blah, blah from what somebody else said. I wouldn't even want that. So that's such a perfect statement, Lisa, because if it's not your own voice, then what would be the purpose of having different presenters, different authors, different anything, if it's all going to blah, 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 be the very same thing? I wouldn't even want that.
Right. Yeah. So that's very good statement. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I really do appreciate that times a million, because I think in terms of we can all learn from each other. And that's the thing that I think people are missing, is just because it has already come out with seed starting, that didn't cause you to stop, did it?
No. Right. And Lisa just pointed out here too, which is, yes, they already have tools that are going to flag people if they wrote something through AI. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Versus a person write in your browser. Yeah. They can pick it out. So, I I'm sure being a college professor, an English professor, is probably pretty challenging now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No kidding.
But no, that's, yeah, it's a tool like everything else. I mean, just look at what we can do with all of the social media, etc. out there, with YouTube's and LinkedIn, and I mean, everything we talk about. It's incredible what we have at our fingertips, and all you have to do is push a button.
That's for sure. I love that so much. And honestly, just when we do the wheel of names and we spin it as far as the Doc and Queenie and the subject matter and things like that, if you ever have a topic that you want to discuss with the Doc and Queenie family, let us know. We can pop you right onto the screen, actually, and we're happy to do that. And Doc, speaking of that, I know that you've been having a lot of one-on-ones lately, and we're going to have so many Doc and Queenie guest lives coming up. What does that look like as far as the March-April schedule? Are there still openings where we could pop some people in?
Well, we are booked through the end of the month, so we really first part of April actually. I've got a couple
it
here. Yeah, we've got 2 open in April.
Okay.
So if anybody would love to jump on here, we'd love to have you and support you, because this is all about you and your business or whatever you want to talk about.
Absolutely. And just for anyone who's watching us new or certainly on the replay, the Doc and Queenie Guest Live, we find a time that all 3 of us, that's the challenge, all 3 available, and then we just send you the link, and then you pop on and we just say, tell us about yourself, and then you take it from there, and that way you can use that video link all over social media as your mini or what you've got going on in your life. So as we get ready to start the second quarter of 2023, it's just even hard to say that. It is so amazing to see the growth in so many of us over these 3 years, and that's going to be apparently a before and after on a timeline thing, because you start with people back in the olden days would say before the Depression this, after the Depression that, and then most recently in our lives it was before 9/11, after 9/11, and now it's like kind of like pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. What does your normal look like? Ain't no such critter anymore. And so it's just an interesting thing that we want to promote you. So if you have a spot in April, let us know and we can see if there's a way to coordinate these schedules. That kind of always gives me a little bit of sweaty palms.
But we'd love to have you. So, well, Queenie, it looks like it's time to say goodbye.
Oh my gosh, this always flies. And Doc, you know how I'm a calendar girl. I was noticing that we really are getting super duper closer to our 3rd Doc and Queenie Day. And so the reason I say that is, yes, we've got summer to go through, but it's August 7th this year. And so I look at things like that, and it's just like all the different dates that we have and how fast everything goes. We started planning the International Day of Happiness in November, and the planning committee meetings and all of that stuff. And boom, it crescendoed into this monster event. It's so fabulous. Everybody had such a great time, and we're so grateful for those thoughts, which means July 19th is going to get here before you know it. We met in 2019. And so then that means Doc and Queenie was born in 2020. And so our 3rd annual Doc and Queenie Day this year is going to be August 7th. I can't believe it.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do something fun.
Yeah. We'll have to think about fun, right?
Yeah, because we're just kind of sticks in the mud. So yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Before we go, do you have any asks? Like you still want more subscribers for your YouTube channel?
I definitely do. Just as an aside, I guess you would say, I've got a new playlist on my YouTube channel called Best Book Reviews. And so a lot of authors who have sent me books, and it's funny that all of a sudden I literally go, I didn't order anything, did I? And I get this book on my front porch, and I pop it open, and it says, just because I love you. And I have a book, and I go, oh my gosh, well, obviously those folks are going to get thank you, Lisa. Those folks are going to get a best book review by Kathy Weaver kind of thing. But it's a new playlist, and I love supporting authors I mean, it's kind of like, for me, it was like birthing a baby. You have this special something that you've worked so hard on, and all of a sudden it turns into this thing that you can hold in your hand, and it's very special. And so my friends who have written books, and people I haven't actually met yet, I have been reviewing a few books that I use in my water workshops and training classes, and so those are going to be popping on every so often. Best book reviews by Kathy Weaver. I'm super excited about that.
Very cool. That's really cool. I'll have to check that out.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
All right.
What about you? I am very excited when you just now said, because we're going to hold you to it, if you're going to actually read us your health book journey. I would love that.
Yes, I guess now that you just mentioned it twice, we mentioned it twice, I guess I have to do it, huh?
I would think that would be so cool, because first of all, I read your book already. And so that was impactful, because I know it was on your website. Do you still have it up there for free?
Yes.
Wow.
You can download it as an ebook. Yep.
That's amazing. And it's in itself that you offered that for free. But I remember reading it myself and I was like, holy moly. And so that was a very impactful journey that I was able to witness. And so if you're going to read that on a YouTube video, I think that would be impactful also.
Cool. Thank you. Yes. So no, I'm just looking for more subscribers for my YouTube channel. And if anybody wants to buy an ebook, I've got my gardening ebook out.
So, oh my gosh. Is it still premier pricing, or when does that change?
Premier until April 1st.
April 1st. Okay. Got it. Because I knew that you were doing premier pricing initially, and I didn't know how long that would last.
Yeah. April 1st. Yeah. And I'm super excited. I've had a bunch of people purchase it, and, and I'm busy helping a few of them also with their gardens here in local KC and online. So it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, not many people know how to do what you do. So I'm sure that has been quite a popular purchase as well. So that's pretty amazing. I really can't believe how fast this time goes. This is nuts.
Almost as fast as the first quarter of 2020.
Yeah, no kidding.
So thank you everyone for joining us today on Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at
high noon.
Oh, really, Queenie? Can't you go a little bit higher? That's more my alto.
Yeah.
There you go. Here. Break the glass. Break the glass.
I know.
So you can reach out to Queenie at KathyWeaverKC.com is her website, or Kathy Weaver KC all over social media. Myself, Doc, or KitchenGardenExpert.com is my website, or Kitchen Garden Expert all over social media. Hey, I've created a new way to say it. So yes, thank you everyone for joining us live or on the replay. We so appreciate our faithful friends on purpose. And we hope you have a wonderful, blessed, and productive week. And we will see you back here next Monday at
high noon.
There it is. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Karen and Lisa, you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us live. Bye now. Bye, Doc.
Bye, Queenie.